What are these subway maps on a human's body? Why can't he just poke a guy with one finger and then he freezes or even drops dead? Why do these warriors sit down in the middle of a fight? To the untrained eyes, this all look Chinese magic, but in Wuxia world, there's actually a fascinating logic behind every single one of these mechanics. In this video series, I'm gonna break all down from the very basic, like what's the map on the body, to what's Jianghu and why you are already familiar with it. I'll be using the stuff you already know and love: Star Wars, Naruto, Avatar, The Last Airbender, video games, and some basic physics. No boring lecture, just pop culture, so you all know exactly how this Wuxia world runs. Qing. If you've ever seen an image like this, you're probably curious, why are they all over this human's body? It looks weird, but actually those are a symbol of Wuxia world called Meridians, in Chinese, Jingmai. But don't worry, I'm not gonna bore you with a lecture on traditional Chinese medicine. Well, for basic understanding, think of this as the default setting for every living thing. Humans, animals, trees. We all have meridians, at least in the Wuxia world. If you're a gamer, you can see this in Wolong and Where We Meet. These stars and lines in inner ways control everything: attacking, freezing enemies, growth, and even healing. If you are anime fans, you may have already seen this in Naruto, the Bakugan vision from Neji. This is basically a diagram of this system, but just Wuxia 101. So let's stop using your Bakugan for a minute and go a bit physics way. Imagine your human body is a massive human dynamo. Your blood vessels are the fuel line, pumping blood, aka the gasoline, to keep the machine running, and your bones are your chassis, the rigid frame keeping you together. So where do the meridians fit in? Think of them like the components of a generator. You've got a magnet, meters, and wires. What's the meridians here? They are the wiring, but they aren't physical. If you cut a body open, you won't find them, just like you can't physically hold a magnetic field. Or think of it this way. Well, your blood and bones are the hardware. The meridians are the underlying protocol, or the power grid of the human body. Even though it's invisible, it's a code that tells the energy where to go. Some of these lines power your limbs, while others, as you can see on this map, plumb directly into your organs with the name. There are 20 meridians in human's body, but don't get scared by this name. We don't cover every single one today. Just these two biggest lines on the map will be okay for now. Quick fact, in Chinese, we call each meridian a mai. So when I say Mai or Du Mai, I'm just naming the two biggest meridians. Okay, so the front master cable, Ren meridians or Ren Mai, right here, and the back spine cable, Du Mai, right here. In Wuxia world, when you are fighting or jumping around in a battle, this circle stays open to channel energy straight to your fist, so you can pull off this classic attack or some crazy move. But fighting like that drains your energy fast and puts a ton of drain on your meridian. That's exactly why warriors sit cross-legged to heal afterward. They aren't just resting, they're manually closing the circle by holding that specific posture. They connect these two main cables here, like this. Instead of shooting energy out to fight, they recycle it right back into the battery to recharge. Alright, so now we have a rechargeable energy circle, but what's this battery we keep mentioning? And where is it in the body? To answer that, we first need to break it down one simple physics principle. To generate power, you need two things: a moving magnet and a coil of wire. Remember your body's meridians wiring system? In combat, it transmits energy to fuel your moves. When you meditate, those meridians are the induction coils in a full-body generator. In physics, you need to move the magnet inside those wires to generate current, right? In Wuxia world, you're breathing with the specific rhythm, or in Chinese we call it 吐纳, to get qi. As the most important energy system in Wuxia world, qi is a massive topic, too big for today. I'll do a deep dive on that in Wuxia 103. Every time you inhale and exhale, you are physically driving the magnetic field through your meridians. But in a science experiment, that indeed electricity disappears right away into the air, unless you have somewhere to store it. This is where the Dantian, your body's built-in battery, comes in. Take Third from Street Fighter 4. You know that spinning sphere in his stomach there? Capcom actually call that the tendon engine, since tendon means Dantian in Japanese kanji. This game is literally telling us that his infinite power comes straight from his god. Technically, there's 3 Dantian in the world, but frankly, in Wuxia world, only lower Dantian truly matters. So let's ignore the other 2 for now. Lower Dantian is located 3 inches below your belly button, deep inside your core. The yellow point is so many times here, but is it still invisible? It captures the fleeting current you generated from breathing, compresses it, and turns into high density power. The 真气, true qi, or the true energy. Okay, that's another big thing that we will cover in Wuxia 103, just like qi. It's great at storing this power, but it's not an endless supply, and it has a strict limit on how fast it can release energy. Some of you might be wondering, if we already have a battery, the Dantian, why can't we just run off that? Why do we need breathing control? Sure, you can play Cyberpunk 2077 on just the battery, but what happens? Battery have a limit on how fast they can dump energy, like discharge rate. If you try to launch a massive ultimate move on battery alone, the voltage drops and your performance lags. You get weaker. Fighting with proper breath control is like gaming while plugging it in. The Dantian handles the heavy lifting and storage. Breathing are the active power supply. It keeps the voltage stable under maximum load. It ensures every punch is 100% full power output. No frame drops, no lag, no weakening. When Aisho's speed was in China, his master made him hold this squat, which we call Ma Bu in Chinese. This simple move is a turbo boost for Kung Fu masters. Just look at Bruce Lee. Think of your body like a car. Your stance like Ma Bu is what keeping you steady. The Dantian is your engine. You can't drop a Ferrari engine into a cardboard box and expect it to work. You need a rock-solid cassette first. And that squat perfectly aligns your body's internal plumbing, which I mean your meridians, so energy can actually flow smoothly. By now, you've got the wires, meridians that carries the energy, and the battery, Dantian, that stores it, 吐纳, that makes it, and the cases your stance that keep it all stable. So this is the foundation of everything you see in Wuxia movies, games, and anime. But here's the thing, even with a perfect power grid and a full battery, you cannot do anything if you don't know where the switches are. Why Tai Li just taps Katana's shoulder and her arms goes down like noodles? What's the so-called death touch you've seen in Jet Li's Kung Fu movies? In Wuxia 102, we're moving from the wiring to the switch. We're gonna talk about Acupoints, the hidden control switches on your meridians that govern energy flow, strength voice, and healing. I hope everything goes well with 101. See you in Wuxia 102.